That is Nepean. That is the spirit of Nepean behind me right there. Thank you. You know, I chose to enter politics because I felt we needed big changes in this country. But big changes guided by strong Canadian values. America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never ever happen. But we also must recognize the reality that our world has fundamentally changed. There is also, for me, as I stand before you this evening, humility in recognizing that, well, many have chosen to place your trust in me, trust in the Liberal Party. Millions of our fellow citizens preferred a different outcome.
Canadians are very engaged in this election. A record 7.3 million Canadians voted in advance voting. There's about 41 million people, so that is a record. That is a lot of people. And the ballot question has become Trump. 3-4 months ago, it looks like the Conservatives were going to win the election, and then Trudeau resigned, and then Trump started attacking in Canada on trade, started calling Canada the 51st state. And it has just infuriated Canadians. A sense of pride and nationalism. Canadians are refusing to go down to the United States for travel now. They're refusing to buy American goods.
You know, I want to begin by expressing my deep gratitude to His Majesty King Charles. We can't control the trade policy of the United States. We don't pretend to control policies of other countries. What we can control is our own domestic economic policy. Canada is a reliable, trustworthy, and strong partner of France, which shares our values and lives them through action during this age of economic and geopolitical crises.
Mesdames et messieurs. Merci beaucoup.
All this patriotism has kind of boosted the Liberal Party fortunes. They have a new leader. And the Conservative leader is seen as somewhat Trumpy. He's not Donald Trump, but in style, there are some similarities.
I voted Liberal. I just think that in this real uncertainty that we have right now, economically, financially, you know, housing crises, I don't think there's a better choice right now. I know people believe in Poilievre, but it's the same like sound bites that you get from anybody else. It sounds like mini Trump to me. I work at the food terminal, and this tariff thing has created a bit of an issue for us. You know, tariffs being on, tariffs being off. Every week it's a meeting about what we're doing. And, you know, I think the elections are good for Canada. I think Canadians coming together from, you know, all the shade being thrown from the States is great. But it's definitely created some turmoil, that's for sure, some problems.
I voted Liberal because I think they're still very well prepared for lead the country through the economic environment that we're going through.
It's kind of torn between the NDP and the Liberal. But I feel confident that the Liberals are going to win, perhaps even a majority. But I would like that kind of another voice out there that for the center left. So I voted NDP. But I'd be perfectly happy if the Liberals win as well. There's only so many times that you can hear, 51st state and governor this and all that disrespect that's coming, that you have to think, at some point you have to take it seriously. And you shouldn't be disrespected in that way anyway. And really, historically, Canada probably always should have, in a very bizarre, upside-down, twisted way, this might be a good thing for Canada, because I think maybe we've had too much of a relationship with the United States. I mean, they're right there. They're always going to be our neighbor, our partner, our friend, hopefully. But thinking about other possibilities, thinking about cutting down some of our own barriers within Canada, but also thinking more internationally just as a country, I think that's a very healthy, progressive way to be going forward.
Throughout our history, there have been turning points. Throughout our history, there have been turning points when the world's fortunes were in the balance. That was the case at the start of the Second World War, just as it was at the end of the Cold War. And each time, Canada chose to step up, to assert ourselves as a free, sovereign, and ambitious nation, to lead the path of democracy and freedom, and, because we are Canadian, to do so with compassion and generosity. Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over. The system of open global trade, anchored by the United States, a system that Canada has relied on since the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped deliver prosperity for a country for decades, is over. But it's also our new reality. When I sit down with President Trump, it will be to discuss the future economic and security relationship between two sovereign nations. And it will be with our full knowledge that we have many, many other options than the United States to build prosperity for all Canadians.